What's up, guys? Z Panther here with Muck.
Yo,
We're gonna go over our week one games and our kind of overall game plan for Yak's draft league. First, we're gonna hop into Muck's team. He was playing Dom, which is this team right here. So kind of go over what was your overall idea and plan going into the week.
looking at Dom's team, uh, he has I thought he did a really nice job in the beginning with going Zapdos and Celebi. They have uh, the ability to baton pass, which is which is huge without your regular OU checks that a lot of teams don't have. I think that Cloyster's a pretty solid spiker. And they're kind of running a. I'm not sure if you ever played Gen 2, but the big three in that generation's Cloyster, Zapdos, and Snorlax, and they have very good synergy together. Those three
Yeah,
Mons, and I was thinking that their Miltank could kind of be a Gen 2 Snorlax in a way, like
yeah, like a
um,
pseudo Lax.
yeah. So that was nice. And then Marowak being the beneficiary of an agility pass, that can just wreck games in with regular OU checks. So I was trying to avoid that happening. Dusclops is just, I think, a real pace mismatch for their team. I think their team would be a lot better, like a if they went like Metacham or Blaziken to kind of like pick up the pace. So like Dusclops is kind of something I felt that I would be able to handle. But yeah, basically the main idea was this is week one. I do not want to get owned by a baton pass change
Yeah,
early on in the game. So I I really wanted to prevent that from happening. So I chose to lead with Regice to kind of handle both Zap and Celebi.
definitely.
Um, I thought that I kind of am able to run a boom offense with the two Reggies and Metagross, but I wasn't like without having a pursuit user or like a real surefire. I know I'm going to kill Dusclops this way with my team. I didn't run boom on Regice and Metagross. I just was kind of thinking that if I can just kind of annoy this team and not let it set up, there's going to be a chance for me to really hit it hard with Charizard because the team really has no defenses against a Charizard.
Yeah,
And my sort of poker play thinking about it was their fastest Mon is Celebi and Zap at base 100, which ties Charizard. I
I think
think that
Miltank too is also base 100.
is it.
Yeah, ironically.
Yeah, but I was like I guess that was like a miscalculation on my part not considering that, but I was really worried about Zap, and I was just sort of thinking on this team they kind of need Zap to um, be a little bit more defensive or
Hmm.
offensive. I was really thinking it'd be unlikely that Zap would be timid, so my sort of like I had different outs, but my main kind of thought was I can set up with Charizard, and if I get a sleep off or a thunder wave, I sub up, I hit the sunny day and the Pitaya. There's nothing that can really stop me. So
Yeah,
that was kind of that's sort of like the like an eight like in ADVOU. Sometimes it's like if I can get endgame Suicune and pick off the right pieces of a team, Charizard was that for me in this game.
definitely. Looking at his team, it's like Zard is the thing that just kind of cooks everything, so to speak. Even Miltank, like it has thick fat, but its base special defense is not that high. So like Zard can kind of just wear through it. Definitely makes a lot of sense. Let's hop into your uh Poke Paste of your team. So you didn't have Explosion on Metagross, you had Refresh. Was there anything in particular you were trying to avoid, like Will-O-Wisp on Dusclops, or?
Yeah, mainly Will-O-Wisp on Dusclops. Metagross is just kind of there to be annoying and chip things. If I got a
Mhm.
lucky max raise and was able to kind of hit rock slides and shadow balls. That's good too. But I really was trying to avoid in a long game Metagross just being crippled by an annoying Dusclops. So a couple people you'll see in the replays seem to be a little bit shocked that Metagross even had refresh.
Yeah.
Not a common move for it.
Yeah, definitely. But it's definitely cool, especially you start to see like really unique sets in draft, especially.
Yeah, like kind of digging through that in Showdown, it's called normally useless moves. Here they can be quite
Yeah,
useful.
yeah. I see you have Miracle on Milotic too. Did you even use that? I don't remember.
I didn't, I didn't, but I was sort of thinking, say for example, you had a situation where Celebi with one calm mind and it tried to hit me with a Giga Drain or something, really shocking it with Militic, I thought would have been nice. At full health against a Zap. Yeah, just it was just kind of like a surprise move. I was thinking, there could be a point where I use it, but Surf seemed kind of uh, Surf seemed kind of useless in this matchup. And Refresh, I was just thinking, I'm not a Spikes team. There's probably going to be cases where I use Refresh, Toxic, Recover, Militic, and I'm able to use Stall, but without Spikes and Knockoff and all those other usual things, like I, it's kind of there's just no other move that kind of made sense. So I just threw
Yeah.
Mirror Code on there.
I'm a really big fan of running dual Fire Zard like this on sunny day.
Yeah,
I've done this in the past on like weather clear teams for like Suicune. So I think this set's pretty tight. Fire Blast and Overheat is really cool. I'm
yeah,
surprised. Okay, you're timid because you didn't think anything else would be like you were saying earlier.
yeah. I thought it was really unlikely that they would, like for example, say for example, I did lose the Charizard and the Zapdos was timid 252 special attack Zapdos.
Hmm.
That is not handling that. That's dead to Regice. So
Yeah,
even if he did do that, like it's that's good for me.
yeah, I see. I mean, plus, with Overheat, you're kind of cooking it anyway. Even
Yeah,
Spadef Zap doesn't take that. Oh, Choice Band on the Regirock. I see.
yeah.
Nice. And this is a super unique Breakloom set.
Well, you look at
Sludge
his team.
Bomb.
What's like Miltank would never let me use Focus Punch on it.
Yeah.
Zap and Celebi resist it. Dusclops can't be hit by it. Like there was never a point in this game that I was thinking I was like, when am I going to get a fighting move off, or you know, am I really going to stay in on a Cloyster that could ice beam me and probably would live it anyway? I was just like, it sucks in this matchup, but like I kind of need this Breloom to just be an annoyance and
To do
maybe
something,
pick up
yeah.
that 30% poison. Yeah,
I mean, that's not bad. I mean, you throw out a Sludge Bomb, something gets basically poisoned, and then that's
yeah,
never bad. All right, so let's hop into your replay. You were the very first match of the week, I think, right?
yeah. So I think the schedule was released like around 6 on Monday, and I was out walking my dog, and Dom messaged me, "You want to get this over with?" And I built this kind of like in like 20 minutes on my last way home. I was like thinking about it, have an idea, but yeah, this was like a very quick build and just get it over with. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Mux is obviously down here. Dom is at top as Bath B Woy
Did
leads
not
off.
expect Marowak lead.
Yeah, it seems a little odd. Definitely, I think Thick Fat's Miltank's only ability, right?
I'm not sure.
Hmm. And then is this where you reveal the tech? I'm gonna slow down a
Uh,
little bit.
it's not here now because I think no, he doesn't start cursing yet.
Oh yeah, you just mash. That still does quite a chunk, so you know it's like not like super bulky zap.
Right.
All right, and then yeah, Red Ice, of course. It's like the end all be all.
Yep.
I suppose that was like his chance to throw up a sub or something, maybe.
Yeah,
Cloister is a little iffy because I mean everyone knows Red Eyes carries Thunderbolt
and I was thinking go Thunder on this just so that I could only deal with one layer of spikes if I ever had that scenario, but I kind of got bailed out here with that
with the Para.
paralysis. But I think even with two spikes, I would have been okay in this game.
Yeah, I think it was maybe if he didn't get Para, it's worth a shout that he might have boomed there too.
True. Yeah.
Miltank does not take that Thunderbolt well at all.
No, and if you'll see the thick fat, could you just pause here?
Yeah.
The thick fat ice beam. So this is modest reg ice, so it's like it hits like a truck.
hmm
The thick fat ice beam did 24, and the Thunderbolt did 37 or 38 or something. I was That's when I was like, I forgot Miltank had thick fat. I wasn't even thinking of it. I was like, is the game glitched or something? But
Yeah.
yeah, the Thunderbolt does a lot more. So
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's its only ability or if it has another one. But
I'll I'll
yeah.
I'll check it out here on the side. But you can
Um
go ahead.
okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
only
go
thick
for the
fat.
counter, which I mean that's for sure scary for Miltank. And it's
That was
curse.
probably a bad play there, using it specifically there because he
Yeah,
was
I
he was never not milk drinking.
I think you could have got some use out of maybe like Psych Up, to copy the curse boosts and stuff.
Possibly, yeah.
Or if like Celebi's trying to like Calm Mind Pass, maybe something like that. Seems a little unlikely with Marowak, but you never know, I guess.
Right.
And then he's staying in here. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets parried. That Thunderbolt's doing a chunk. Oh, you got Regirock here. I wonder if he realized this was probably CB because you didn't show lefties.
Yeah.
Because he tries to stay in a little bit, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and then, the banded 120 base power fighting move is not going to do as much as you think.
Yeah, that is pretty underwhelming. I think Miltank's base defense is pretty high. It's like 100 or something, or
hmm
110. It's kind of like the opposite of Wax that way. It's fast with high defense and mid SPDF.
Right. But here, this is kind of the point where, like how I was saying, there's going to be like a kind of chain where I'm going to be able to set up this Zard. This is like
hmm
one of the scenarios where, like, okay, you're slower than me. You're running the curse set, but
I think too, even though Loom has obviously like potentially stab fighting versus his Miltank, he already has three curses up. I don't see a lot of downside for him to just stay in there. I mean, he
I
doesn't
guess
know
I
you
could.
have Leech yet.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, but if he's seeing that the mill tank is able to handle force switches out on Regirock and Metagross, maybe he's kind of thinking I should kind of keep this healthy and
Yeah, that's fair. So originally when I was going over all the teams, I was kind of confused about Dusclops for him because it seems kind of a pace mismatch for the rest.
yeah, that
And
might be one of the worst picks in the draft, honestly.
yeah, I mean Dusclops is okay, but I think it's really needs spin and Cloyster's just not really a reliable spinner.
hmm
Like a lot of things can punish it pretty easily. Not even just like ghost types that would want to block spin. Oh, and then here's where you set up Zard. He must have been in the calcs or something. He was like, I don't want to take that. Or maybe he was thinking focus punch
Yeah, that's true.
because he did go Dusclops there. Mm. Yeah, this Dusclops is not gonna take this. Do you sub here or no? You just fire blast, yeah. Pretty much outspeed everything, so you might as well. Here, I'll make it a little bit faster. I like to switch in Regirock because I think the mill tank was a little bit too high for you to break through right there. Just a little bit more chip.
Hmm.
And you, oh, okay, you superpower here. 50%, I mean, that's not that bad.
Yeah. Then it gets worse and worse. Regirock also has Focus Punch, which could have been a
Yeah.
thought.
You could have considered Boom there as well since his ghost was gone.
Well, I'm banded.
No, I know. Initially, just Boom on the mill tank.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This is where you reveal your Sledge Bomb, I think, right?
Yeah, it hits the Zapdos.
And you get the poison too. That's pretty cool. Honestly, Sledge Bomb, that's kind of interesting. It doesn't really hit Gengar, which is a pretty common OU switch into Loom, but it does hit
Mhm.
Celebi, Claydol, and Mance. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. And I don't think I can't even think of a Mence set. I guess some Dragon Dances, but like it barely ever runs Lum.
Yeah, exactly. Never almost. Mm, that's a good T wave. I think as many times as you can like prevent this Miltank from like getting 3 turns, the better.
Yeah.
And this is where you show refresh, huh?
Yeah, the chat goes crazy.
Oh, you could have also done like psych up Metagross too. I didn't even think about that
Yeah.
until right now. I've never actually seen that in practice, but I've heard it's like anti-lax measures.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Here I was a little bit worried about this loop. I knew I had Breloom in the back to kind of um, just spore it and set up Zard again, which is a little bit easier now that Dusclops is gone. But I, I just this goes on for a little bit with just Metagross on Miltank, excuse me, and I think I let this go on too long, but I really didn't know what else to do.
I mean, I don't think it's wrong to start fishing for mash phrases, honestly. I
Hmm.
mean, you got a little bit unlucky with the 2 pairs, but it's about the same chance. I mean, 30 versus 20, it's not that far off. So he just got a little bit more luckier in this sequence than you. Um, Something like Boom would have helped a lot right here. But I mean,
Yeah,
still, yeah, you got a lot of unlucky RNG right here, missing the mash, getting paired 2 out of 3 body slams.
kind of evens out with that sludge bomb though, so I'm not. I think it kind of went equal in this game.
Yeah, I don't think anything was too egregious. And you get the attack boost. Yeah, I think he realizes he needs to just remove this. Because Metagross can just snowball.
Only in draft will you see a mono Miltank
Yeah,
take
true.
out a Metagross.
Yeah, and he went Celebi last time, so you get the sleep off. That was a good switch by him.
Hmm. And he doesn't know it, but Miltank's actually a great switch into this Breloom.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he probably thinks for sure you still have a fighting move last.
I didn't understand what he was trying to do here
I
with this
think he
sub.
might have tried to catch a T-bolt, thinking you were gonna predict the milk. Because what I was thinking, what he would do would he'd sneak in Miltank to get off a milk drink on the Regice. So he probably thought you were gonna T-bolt, and then he could just pass a sub to it.
Interesting.
That was what I thought. Here we're gonna see Zard go off.
Yeah. And this is a point, this is like a crucial thing, like this. So if you
That
just
crit?
pause here, yeah, that
Yeah.
crit. So if you pause here, right? So I showed you that I have Pattaya, right? I was in the thing doing the calc because I was like, will this sunny day boosted fire blast or overheat get this mill tank at full health? And it
Hmm.
so if I sub down, I would have had I think three turns of sun plus Pattaya. When I was doing the calc, I forgot to put blaze in.
Oh.
So I really could have. It was a misplay by me, and I was thinking sort of like the body slam won't kill me from here, and I'm 70-30 to miss the power chance from body slam. But in retrospect,
Well,
it was a big misplay not just subbing down and getting the Pattaya boost because then it's
is Pattaya in the Sun in Blaze a guarantee Oko?
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then that's the play. I was gonna say, like off the dome, I would think that fire blasting and then taking the next body slam and then hitting it again with probably like overheat just to be safe, you know?
Mhm.
But I mean, if you guarantee Oko, then yeah, you should have probably subbed. It would have taken two subs though, since you're at 51.
Yeah, uh, yeah, and that was another thing where I screwed up the Charizard because I built it fast where I didn't do the right
Where
substitute HP EVs or
where
whatever.
you get it at 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think it has to be divisible by 4, right? Yeah, something like that.
Hmm.
I mean, still without the crit, I think you're still pretty well positioned because, like you said, he kind of had to have gotten that para to really make something happen there.
Right. And even if he does, like, that's when I can come in with the Reggie Rock and just hit with the boom and do something.
Yeah, and at that
But
point, you
without it's
still have sleep with Breloom and then Milo.
hmm
Oh, he's
you
not
don't
running
need any
Jolly
swimming
either.
toxics with Heal Bell. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's not even running Jolly. Usually, Jolly Marowak usually runs enough speed to outspeed Milo in particular. I don't know if don't remember. Are you a
I know
more
I
off?
EV'd Metagross to outspeed the Marowak at 208. I'm not sure if I did the same for Milo.
Oh yeah, no, Milo has no speed EVs, but he probably just doesn't know that, I guess. Maybe the zap was maybe the zap was agility pass. I guess we never saw his last two moves. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean he only has to beat if I don't have a Agiligross, he's only got to beat Zard. So he was probably thinking, I don't need the full speed investment on Marowak.
Yeah. Um. So my opponent this week was Turd Ferguson. I don't know if he has a team name, but this is his team. Um, it's an interesting team. Triple water kind of it's weird to prepare for when you know it's coming because it's not really something you see all the time. The only thing I was truly worried about was Metacham, just because it's speed ties my fastest mon. I don't really have any burners. My fastest is actually Houndoom, but I wasn't really gonna bring Houndoom because it didn't really offer that much versus his team since he has those three waters and Blissey. So I just kind of figured like Dragonite's my fastest mon on this team. Metacham speed ties it at best, and I'm probably not going to want to run speed on it anyway, at least not that much. Um, but I figured if I can hone in on removing Blissey and I can paralyze everything, then my team is just really bulky compared to his, and it can kind of just wear him down. If we hop into my Pokepace, I wanted to lead Dragonite because I just had a feeling he's going to lead Metacham. It's obviously his most threatening mon, and I wanted to get a T-Wave off on it. Venusaur was overall just kind of hoping to get leeches off on his Blissey if I could, and I just had a feeling he wouldn't bring Meganium, so I wasn't too worried about that. I also wanted something that could switch into Magneton, so it resists electric, of course. I also didn't need to run Rapid Spin, another reason why I didn't bring Houndoom this week. So Fori was just spikes and three attacks. The initial plan behind Zap Cannon was to actually hit Magneton with it on the switch and then outspeed and EQ it. But it didn't end up working that way. Actually, it came in handy with Gyarados, funny enough.
Also fits your theme of just trying to paralyze things.
Yeah, exactly. So like D-Knight has Thunder Wave, Slowbro has Thunder Wave, Lax has Body Slam, of course, and Fortress has Zap Cannon. So Slowbro's kind of main thing was I wanted something that could switch into Kingdra pretty easy and just start setting up Calm Minds on it. And I figured with HP Electric, I could kind of just blow away Gyarados, and at that point, unless he has a Calm Mind Blissey, there's nothing that's really going to stand in Slowbro's way.
Hmm.
I figured I didn't really need to go Curse-Lax route this week, so I just went for more of a utility role. Um, and I even went double normal since he didn't have a ghost type. And
Any
then
reason for return over double edge?
just 'cause I want to lose health because it's still kind of a pivot for me. So it was more of like a pivot that's just gonna do solid damage all around to his team, as
Yeah.
than more of like something I'm gonna stay in with and like just try to smack. I considered putting CB on it actually. I considered CB, Snorlax, and Dragonite this week, but I ended up figuring this was a little bit better, a little bit more balanced approach. This team was kind of trying to get Slowbro to go off more so. And then Trapinch here, his EVs are pretty specific, but with this much attack, I always two-shot all Blissey with EQ, and it can never kill with Ice Beam, not even at +1 if it's Calm Mind Bliss. So that was kind of the idea behind this. And with 96 attack, you still are able to kill Metacham with quick attack from around like 28% always, which was actually a key calc, it turns out, because it ended up coming in handy. And then Hidden Power Flying was just on the off chance he brought Meganium, so that I wouldn't be kind of stonewalled by that if he did. I didn't really bring a
Uh,
lot of ice moves or anything like that this week.
yeah, Meganium actually would have been a real problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking at your team.
I kind of figured he wouldn't bring it because my team is naturally good against it. But I mean, that's kind of the nature of draft. It's almost like a matchup fish.
I'll tell you what actually would have gone crazy looking at your team is if he went. He's got all these water mons. If he went Sunny Day, Solar Beam, HP Ice, Meganium,
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
that would have been a big problem.
Yeah, no, he definitely could have. My team, like, yeah, I mean, Venusaur could be okay into it. It wouldn't take too much from HP Ice, but still, that would be my only reprieve, really. I guess Fortress wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah.
But let's get into my replay. This is Turd Ferguson up here. I'm down here. Right. So I let off with Dragonite, like I said. Um, it's going a little fast. He missed the Rock Slide, but the reason also I have these specific EVs on Dragonite was because this I always live Choice Band Medicham Rock Slide, and obviously I can't get flinched, so I'm gonna guarantee get this Thunder Wave off on it. That was kind of the idea behind leading it in the first place. So even though he missed, unfortunate for him, it kind of wouldn't have mattered in the grand scheme of things anyway. He
Hmm.
stays in to rock slide me again. Um, and then yeah, you see here. I don't think
And
that was. Sorry,
Band
what?
wouldn't have killed from Band wouldn't have killed from there.
No, the Calcs banned wouldn't have killed. I'm not sure if he is banned. He doesn't show any leftovers or Lumberry, obviously. So I'm assuming he is banned.
Oh, he must have been.
Yeah. I made sure like I had enough EVs. And then there's the HP was to always take an Ice Beam from every single one of his mons. Because he has Swampert, Kingdra, and Bliss.
That's why Dragonite's so beautiful in this.
Yeah. Um, if he did run a fire move on Blissey, I was a little bit worried because um, I think that's how I would have got a Trapinch trap off on this.
Mm.
Just because if he had Flamethrower, I would probably only get one spike off, maybe two with Fori, and then I'd have to go into Trapinch. But then Slowbro kind of would go ham. Here we get to see Zap Cannon. I don't think
Yeah, I
he
don't
was
love this
expecting
stay.
this.
Yeah, I don't love this stay here from him. Like, it's kind of pretty common knowledge that Fortress runs Zap Cannon in OU sometimes, and especially against your team. Like, what else would Fortress have as a move than
Yeah,
Zap Cannon? So,
but it is kind of just utility. It actually did quite a bit just because it was four times effective. But like, I mean, the goal wasn't to do damage, it was just to spread para like that. He does reveal right here, I think, aromatherapy, which you know, I think here if I would have just went hard trap inch, that would have been best. Um, just because, I mean, what are the odds he would be like ice beaming me there?
yeah, I think the spike is definitely fine there.
Yeah, I mean, I can't go wrong with spikes. The next play I'm a little upset about here. I probably should have threw out another spike, but I just decided to boom. And I'm pretty sure the crit mattered because I was minus attack and it's resisted. It might not have, but it probably did. I think either way
You
it
were
doesn't.
minus attack.
Well, minus one because of the intimidate.
Oh, I thought you meant like you were like EV'd minus
No,
attack.
no, no. I was careful nature.
Yeah, I'm not sure
But
what that would have.
Trap Inch comes in and kills Magneton anyway. Really, it just becomes pinch food.
Mhm.
Even HP
That's pretty
Grass never kills or anything. Here I reveal Hidden Power Electric. I think I could have just Calm Mind there or T-Waved. Probably T-Wave would have been better, but he double edges and crits. So we're gonna see there's gonna be a lot of crits toward the end of this game. This one is pretty big because double edge really doesn't do a lot to Slowbro normally. And it's gonna put it into Metacham range, which
I'm a
I
little bit
think it.
confused by the. I'm a little bit confused by the non-res Zapdos with aromatherapy Blissey, or the non-res Gyarados.
Yeah, I wondered that too. I'm thinking maybe he doesn't have fly. Maybe he is rest. I considered that he was like double edge EQ rest.
Yeah, yeah, that could be.
And then here I bring in Chapinch. I know it's in range because I had calced that yesterday,
Hmm.
or the day before. So I was like, oh yes, I can bring in Trapinch. So it gets its first kill of the game. Here he brings in Blissey, which is kind of sad because even though this is EV for Blissey, obviously I can't trap it with quick attack. So I'm forced to switch, and this is where I bring in Lax. I didn't know he was going for Toxic, so he's Aroma Toxic. I'm assuming Soft Boiled and Mono Ice Beam. So an interesting set for sure.
Yeah.
Here I've no reason not to go for a turn. His only resist is gone. Swampert takes a chunk.
Big damage. So you know
Uh,
it's like not bulky or bold or anything.
yeah. I switch, so I don't actually um even notice that he didn't have leftovers at that time, which is kind of I was like, oh shit, once I switched Venusaur in. But in the end, it didn't really matter. I'm glad I didn't get Lax Endeavored though. But here I'm basically forced to sack Venusaur, so it ends up doing a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
But at least it prevents Swampert from being behind a sub. So here I go in a trap bench, and I kind of played this endgame poorly. Um, right here he goes Kingdra, and I think if I just go Lax and Boom, um, like right away, there's not much he can really do. Uh,
Submarine Dance on your team though, that's kind of risky.
oh, he does he reveal sub? I can't remember.
He doesn't, but that's like a common thing for Kingdra to do. Like
Yeah,
I'd be a little bit nervous about booming on Kingdra.
I think I should have just went hard Lax here though, or even Slowbro, because I could start setting up Calm Minds. Um, and at this point, I know his Blissey for sure is not Calm Mind itself. So if I would have went Lax here, I could have just kind of forced him to go Bliss or removed the Kingdra right away, and this game wouldn't have been as messy. There's another
I'm
crit
curious
there.
what I'm curious what the Kingdra set was because I was when I was watching the replay, I was confused about why he wasn't setting up Rain Dance right away or going to a sub. It doesn't seem like this Kingdra needs a ton of coverage for your team.
Yeah, I that definitely was. I think it was just a misplay on his behalf, honestly. I think he should have just set up rain right away because then
Mm.
Lax would have taken like 40% on that Hydro switch in, and he forces me to boom there, and then he can just sack Bliss and go back into Kingdra. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. I should have went hard Slowbro or Lax. That crit mattered too on Slowbro. It would obviously wouldn't have killed there, even though it was in the rain. It's
Yeah.
resisted. Um, it all kind of evens out. I end up getting a crit here, and he misses pump. So, I mean, I think there's a world where Blissey could stall out the Lax if it had like another move besides Ice Beam, or like if it had Seismic Toss maybe. But
I don't even know
because
about all that.
yeah, I think he needed Seismic Toss and he needed an Ice Beam freeze. But he clearly doesn't have Seismic Toss since he has Aroma and Toxic. So he kind of just needed a whole bunch of crits and wasn't gonna get them. I ended up switching up for Body Slam here because I wanted to get Para just to make
You know what he
sure that
needed is counter.
what?
What he needed was counter.
Yeah, counter would have worked too. I considered putting a fighting move on Snorlax because it hits Mag and Bliss, but I was just worried he'd use Garrett to pivot a lot into it.
Yeah. Gyara's a tough pivot into blacks though, because you never want your Gyarados to get
Parad, yeah.
paralyzed. Yeah.
So I mean, it ended up being pretty close. I think I had the tools to win either way. It just kind of got a little close at the end with a little sloppy play on my part. Um, but yeah, I ended up winning 1-0. You ended up winning 4-0. So yours wasn't as close. I definitely think your opponent had a little bit of misplays as well with the Miltank, where he could have at least made a little bit more happen, and likewise my opponent at the end with Kingdra could have probably done a lot more to me if he would have just set up the rain right away. But either way, I think we both played pretty well for the most part, and we were both pretty much in control of our games from the start.
Yeah, I think your opponent this week beat themselves in the builder. I think that you had a
Yeah,
really nice bring, like considered of everything. Like I don't understand what that Blissey was. I don't I don't see why Kingdra didn't have sub. Yeah,
yeah,
it didn't make a ton of sense to me what they brought.
yeah. Like sub attack Kingdra would have done really well into me, but I don't know if they just didn't consider it or yeah, I don't know. But that was kind of the whole idea behind it. Um, yeah. Do you have any last minute thoughts on week one?
I'm having a great time with this.
Hmm.
I I don't have anything much else to say. That I mean, everybody's kind of doing videos. It seems like so. I don't want to
Yeah.
say the same thing over, but yeah, I think just my final thought for my opponent was I thought that they played really well, but I think that a curse rest talk double edge mill tank would have just clocked my team based off what the milk drink heel bell thing did. So
Yeah.
that's I think that was a that would have really lit it up. But
Any chance we'll see the Rhyhorn soon?
um, I I'm not sure. Maybe against Cave, so it can't run mono Reiku.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on my channel. It's been fun. We can definitely do this again. Maybe the week we play, we can do a little before and after.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely, man. All right.